Hello, I just want to take a few minutes to show you how to get your Works Cited page for Tuesday's speech ready to go. Remember, on Tuesday the 18th, the speech planner and Works Cited page for everyone is going to be due for your speeches, regardless of the date that you are going to be giving your speech. If you need an extra copy of the speech planner, if you go to Tuesday on our calendar under the 18th, more details. There is a copy, a link to the speech planner that you can then use for yourself. Keep in mind that a Works Cited page and a speech planner is going to be given to me by everyone. So if you only have one speech planner and you're hoping to use it for your speech, you would need to take a picture of it, write out another one on a form, which is in the class on the whiteboard on the side, or you could certainly handwrite, some notes as well. But everyone is going to have to give to me a speech planner and a Works Cited page. And so I wanted to make sure everyone was clear as to how to put together a proper MLA format Works Cited page using Noodle tools, so we can try to make it as simple and painless for everyone as possible. So for the first step, obviously, is going to be that you need to go to Noodlebib, to the Noodle Tools website, so noodletools.com. From there, we would do our typical login. For me, the username and password is already put in there, so it loads up right away. Now, everyone has some type of project where you're keeping your CHS argumentation sources. The problem is that you're not going to be using all of those sources for your speech, and the only ones that you need to give to me are the ones that are going to be going for your speech. So before we go into your current project, we're going to need to create a new project. So up here in the top, there's the green icon, or button. Once you go over it, turns to white for new project. And so for this, it's really going to be a temporary project, but we would just type in eloquence speech, so there's not any confusion. It's going to be MLA format, just like our other one, and also going to be advanced. And then at that point, we hit submit. I already used this, I guess, for a speech earlier, so I'll just type in 2016. I would think for you, eloquence speech will be enough. Now, obviously, you don't have anything in this project at the time, so it's hard to create a Works Cited page from it. So what we do is we go back to our main project. So I am leaving this screen. I'm going up to the projects button up at the top, so where it shows all the projects that I currently have. And I want to go back into my CHS argumentation one. Now, this is a sample setup project that I have. So when I'm in my project, I go to sources. It would show all the sources that I currently have at this point. Now, I don't have the annotations filled in because, again, these are just sample sources, but currently at this point I think I have 15 sources in here. Theoretically, I'm not going to be using all 15 of those sources. So let's say I'm going to use my first source, the fourth, fifth, I'll say seventh, and ninth source. These are the sources, so I'm just checking off this little checkbox at the very front. These are the sources that I'm going to be using for my eloquent speech. They are the ones I consulted, and they're also the ones that have made it into my speech. If I looked at a source, but I did not use it in any form, any context within my speech, I am leaving it unchecked. It's still okay to be in my Noodlebib project for my 50 points at the end of the semester, but I'm only highlighting the sources that are going to actually make it into the speech. And remember, the bare minimum would be 2, because 2 sources you have to reference directly in your speech. So I have my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sources that I am going to use. What I do is I have them already highlighted, and down at the bottom you see the option here for copy. So I'm going to hit copy. Now, I have to do 2 things. If I just hit copy now, it's going to copy those sources into the same folder. So of those 15 sources, 5 of them will repeat, so I'll think I'll have 20 sources in this one folder when I look at it, but I really only have 15 because 5 of them are doubles. So the first thing I have to do is hit another project in this folder. So make sure you do switch that option from the default project I have open to another project in this folder, and then from the drop-down box I would then hit my eloquence speech. And now I would go copy. Once I get this message that they have been successfully copied, I go back to projects. And now when I look at them, I still have my 15 sources in my original folder, but now I have 5 sources in that eloquent speech folder. So now I go into my eloquent speech folder, into that project, go back to sources up here at the top in the middle, just like I did before, and now these are the sources that I want to use. Now, by nature, some folks will just start copying, pasting, but that's not going to give you necessarily the correct format, the correct font, and all of those things. In order to create your works cited page, and this would be true for any assignment, article analysis that we do in argumentation, future speeches that we do like Student Congress, or any other assignment for other classes that have to be in MLA format, I'm going to go to the print export option up here at the top. Now you can export it to a Word file. Generally, most folks go through Google Docs because then you have it, access to it for any computer whatsoever. So once I hit this option, it takes a little bit to load up. It is already linked to my account. If it is not linked to your account already, it will simply just ask you to enter in your username and password, your Gmail address and password. But notice now what I have, it's in correct MLA format. Now, normally this would get tacked onto a paper at the very end, where you could copy and paste it, paste into an existing file. Since that's not the case for this one, I will hit enter in front of works cited page and then change my margin over, and then you would want to put in your MLA format. So, student name, Mr. Kane, CHS argumentation, period, you could put in 2 or period 9, if whichever class you're in, and then the date. The due date for this is going to be the 18th of October, 2016, and so then you would be ready to go. So what you have is your MLA format, and you'd be able to save it or print it out. You have your works cited, and all of these are in the correct format because I have my last name, have my article titles, alphabetical format, and I am ready to go. So from here, I would be able to print it, copy and paste it into a different folder or file if need be. So now you have the basic steps of setting up your works cited page. The critical thing is to make sure within NoodleBib, within Noodle Tools, that you do create that separate folder so that you can then export them for your Eloquence assignment. If you have any questions, make sure to send me an email, or you can also notify me through the Remind app. Looking forward to hearing our speeches on starting on October the 18th. Remember, if you forget the date that you signed up for, if you go to tinyurl.com/Mr. Kane CHS, you'll be able then to see the dates that we have. So that the class calendar that we have initially, of course, we're waiting for it to load up here, which takes a little bit longer. But that calendar, again, has access to the dates for everyone's speeches. Also, under the 18th, you can print out the speech planner and, of course, all the other files that we've been using for our research. You have access to the databases, the passwords, and things like that. So, again, 2 and 9 signifying the periods. And then if there's an A and a B, A would be going first, B would be going second. Resolutions are on there. So if you do need to reference this page, you have it right there. All right. Thank you. Good luck. And we'll see some speeches on Tuesday.